Hello student, today in distributed DBMS reliability, I will explain you the failures in distributed DBMS. Designing a reliable system that can recover from failures requires identifying the types of failures with which the system has to deal. Here we reviewed the major reason of failures in distributed computer system. Number 1, transaction failures. The transaction can fail for a number of reasons. Failures can be due to an error in the transaction caused by incorrect input data. Reason: error in the transaction, potential deadlock, etc. Approach to handle such failure is to abort the transactions. Second is site failures, which is also called system failure. The reason for system failure constituted the bulk of our discussion in this section. It can be traced back to a hardware failure or to a software failure. Reason: hardware and software failure. Result in loss of main memory. Processor failures or power supply failure site become unreachable from other site. Total failure and partial failures. So system failure due to hardware and software. Transaction failure due to error in transactions. Now the third one is media failure, that is also called disk failures. Media failures refer to the failures of the secondary storage devices that store the database. Such failure may be due to operating system error as well as to hardware faults such as head crashes or controller failures. Here we specify the reason of media failures, that is operating system error, hardware faults such as head crashes or control failures. Refer to secondary storage devices that store the database, result in either all or part of the database being inaccessible or destroyed. And the fourth one is communication failures. The three types of failure described above are common to both centralized and distributed DBMS. Communication failures, however, are unique to the distributed case. There are a number of types of communication failures. The most common one are the error in the messages, improperly ordered messages, lost messages, and line failures. So in communication failures types, lost, which is undeliverable messages, and communications line failures. Network partitioning. In network partitioning, if the network is partitioned, the site in each partition may continue to operate. Executing transactions that access the data stored in multiple partitions become a major issues. Lost or undeliverable message are typically consequence of communication line failure or destination site failure. If a communication line fail, in addition to losing the messages in transit. It may also divide the network into two or more disjoint groups. This is called network partitioning. Network partition point to a unique aspect of failure in distributed computer. Next is local reliability protocol. Local reliability protocol. In local reliability protocol, the function performed by the local recovery manager, which is denoted with LRM, that exists at each site. These functions maintain the atomicity and durability properties of local transactions. They relate to the execution of the commands that are passed to the LRM, which are begin transaction, read and write, and commit and abort. Second is architectural consideration. In architectural consideration, it is divided in two parts: volatile storage and stable storage. In volatile storage, it consists of the main memory of the computer system, that is also called RAM, the database kept in volatile storage in volatile database. Second one is storage, stable storage. The database is stored permanently on the secondary storage, which is in this context is called stable storage. Database is permanently stored in the secondary storage. The database kept in volatile storage is a stable database. Resilient to failures, hence less frequent failures. Stable storage. In today's technique, stable storage is typically implemented by means of duplexed magnetic disk, which store duplicate copies of data that are always kept mutually consistent, that is, copies are identical. We call the version of the database that is kept on stable storage the stable database. The unit of the storage and access of the stable database is typically a page. This figure shows the interface between the LRM and buffer manager. That means local recovery manager and the buffer manager. When LRM want to read a page of the data on behalf of a transaction, strictly speaking, on behalf of some operation of a transaction, it issues a fetch command indicating the page that it want to read. The buffer manager check to see if that page is already in the buffer due to a previous fetch command from another transaction, and if so, make it available for that transaction. If not, it read the page from the stable database into an empty database buffer. If no empty buffer exists, it select one of the buffer pages to write back to stable storage and read the request stable database page into that buffer. There are several different algorithms by which the buffer manager may choose the buffer page to be replaced. This buffer manager also provides the interface by which the LRM can force it to write back some of the buffer pages. This can be accomplished by means of the flush command, which specifies the buffer page that the LRM want to be. Next one is recovery information. In recovery information, when a system failure occurs, the volatile database is lost. When a system failure occurs, the volatile database is lost. DBMS must maintain some information about its state at each time of failures to be able to bring the database to the state that it was in when the failure occurred. Recovery information depends on methods of execution update, and that is number one, in place updating, and second is out place updating. In place updating physically change the value of the data item in the stable database. As a result, previous values are lost. In out of place updating, it does not change the value of the data item in the stable state but maintain the new value separately. This is the diagram of update operation executions. Since in place update cause previous value of the affected data item to be lost, it is necessary to keep enough information about the database state changes to facilitate the recovery of the database to a consistent state following a failure. This information is typically maintained in the database log. Thus, each update transaction not only changes the database, but the change is also recorded in the database log. The log contains information necessary to recover the database state following a failure. The next one is logging. So database log means every action of a transaction must not only perform the action but must also write a log record to an append only file. Every action of a transaction must not only perform the action but must also write a log record to an append only file. The log contains information used by this recovery process to restore the consistency of a system. Each log record describes a significant event during transaction processing. And types of log records: TI start, if transaction TI has started, and second one is TI XJ V1 V2, before TI execute write X1, where V1 is the old value before write and V2 is the new value after the write. And TI commit, it means if TI has committed. TI abort, if TI has aborted. Checkpoints. These are the terms used in logging. Next is why logging. Why logging? Upon recovery, all of TI's effects should be reflected in the database. That is redo if necessary due to a failure. The second point is none of T2's effect should be reflected in the database, that is undo if necessary. So these are the reason for logging, and by this diagram you can see begin T1 end crashes, B2 begin T2 0 time. By using this figure you can see this is the occurrences of a system failures also. The next one is in place update recovery informations, that is redo. Redoing an action means performing it again. The redo operation uses the log information to perform the action that might have been done before and not done due to failures. The redo operation generates the new image. The next one is undo. In place of update recovery information, the undo actions. Before a stable database is uploaded, the before image should be stored in the stable log. This facilitates undo. Second, when a transaction commits, the after image have to be stored in the stable log prior to the updating of the stable database. This facilitates redo. Undoing an action means to restore the object to its before image. The undo operation uses the log information and restore the old value of the object. By using this formula, you can see how uh, its work. Example for in place update. You have already done in DBMS also. Transaction 1, transaction 2. For example, consider the transaction T0 and T1. T0 execute before T1 and the following initial values. A has value 1000, B has value 2000, C has 700. So T1 for first work, read A, or A equal to A minus 50, that means its value becomes 950. Write A, update the value of A with 950. And read B, that means 2000. B equal B plus 50, that means value update with 50, that means 2050. And again when transaction T1 work, read C, C equal to C minus 100, that means value 700 minus 100, that means value update with 600. So finally the value of C is 600. Similarly, consider the log after some system crashes and corresponding recovery actions. T0 actions, the value of A is 1950 and B is 2250. By using this, undo T0, B is restored to 2000 and A to 1000. So by using this example, you can see how the log after some system crashes and the corresponding recovery action exists. I hope you all understand how log is working. Failure in database working. Thank you for watching my video lecture. Thank you.